It's race day. Welcome, race fans, to a showcase of driving perfection. My name's Webbo, and let's get down trackside. Hold on tight, we're gonna go for it. Boom, that's how it's done. Whoa, easy. Surely not all the way around the outside. Oh yeah, we're cooking now. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. This is a roller coaster of emotions. The drivers are pushing their machines to the limit and beyond. Woo, it doesn't get any better than that. We wait for the lights, the revs build and so does the excitement. And it's drop the clutch and go, go, go! Okay, driver, it's hammer time. This driver is an artist and the racetrack is their canvas. Did you see that? Did you see that? Wow! Let's watch it again. Ooh, hopefully they'll get away with that one. What a great start, and it looks like we can build on this now and really make a good race of it. There's the fastest lap, folks. No mercy on the menu today. Yeah, sideways is rarely ever faster, but you do get style points. And we roll the safety car dice. Leave them alone, they know what they're doing. Oh no, someone's gone bowling into turn one. What a shocker. Moving left, jinking right, keep them guessing. Lawn mowing as a side gig. And we go down the inside, Danny Rick style. We're on the edge of our seats here, folks. The racers are pushing their limits, risking it all for that coveted first place position and the all-important win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The two cars ahead are fighting with each other. It's slowing them down. And through we go! That driver is a complete and total. A word has not been invented to describe how complete and total they are. But they are one, and a complete and total one at that. And it all comes down to this, the final lap. If you smell what this driver is cooking. This seems like as good a time as any to ask if you've subscribed yet. There's your Grand Slam, pole, fastest lap, and the win! Welcome, race fans, back to Deviant Racing. I know some of you have been patiently waiting since the GTD Pro race. This is the GTD race for the GT World Challenge here at season 4.2 with Deviant Racing on the Webbo commentary channel. I am Webbo, of course. On the right hand side of your screen you can see that the Bongit leads the championship with one drop score being on 21 points ahead of Izzy and Thrasher. Those three drivers will have the opportunity to pitch for promotion in the end of season playoffs if they stay in those positions, but it is a joint third place for Thrasher and Mr. Fish. If you're a Mr. Fish fan, please make sure you drop a fish emoji in the chat. That's how we like to roll here. And here I can tell you he's first on track at the moment. Dollars per win is in 5th with Creamy in 6th place, joint with Aussie. Following them we have Siam, Huge Jar, Jim, Sully, Kuroskai, Saito and Dirksy are drivers, as Jay joins to say let's go Team Sony. I can see Glovers and Zena here as well, and Lloydie joined us just off the back of stopping by in the GTD Pro. And a special mention to Alexandra, who has become a Webbo commentary member on the channel, a Drop the Clutch member. We have Drop the Clutch and Go Go Go, as well as 2 further levels if you're feeling particularly flush, but we will try and get you some brooming race cars on the circuit momentarily. So let's do that for you. And you can see hopefully Bongit is on track first of all, but Thunderfat ahead of Sony Interactive, 404 Motorsport, Team Builder, NASCAR Predator and Team Polio Loco are our drivers, are our team's standings with 1 drop score. Here we are on the racetrack though, a temporary racetrack of course here at the Tokyo Expressway. This is the South Circuit on the counter-clockwise configuration, so it is not quite as torturous as the Nugget Central. But speaking of Nuggets, here is Team Polio Loco with Bongit at the wheel, just heading into the final sector to start out his first proper flying lap, I do believe. So he's headed round. Let's join him on board in the Honda NSX. Sounds quite quiet, doesn't it, the NSX? And of course driving on the correct side of the car, given it's a Japanese constructed vehicle. That's the penalty marker boards there, the yellow chevrons, as we head over the line. A 1:58.4 is the first flying lap for Bongit. Astonishing will follow him across the line. He goes 2nd position, nearly a second down. Creamy goes 3rd. Huge Jar is dropping down in the order at the moment. I think unfortunately Huge Jar and his livery will not come through to the game screen today. Here he is, just rocking a standard Ferrari livery, unfortunately. Creamy in 4th, Dirksy in 5th. We have Kuroskai coming through in 8th place, actually, as he runs through. Jim is about to cross the line. Where does Jim go? He goes 7th position. Aussie joins him just behind and on the same 4th row of the grid. And then several drivers have gone straight back to the pits for a restart. Some are still pushing though. This is Huge Jar in the Ferrari. We have, well no, he's got the team stickers on, but he's got the 44 race sticker. So I'm not quite sure if this is an official livery or not. He said it was a team livery for Predators, but unless the Prancing Horse has suddenly become a Predator, I'm a little bit confused. Makina Speedstar. I don't know if this is TX Speedstar. I presume it is. But this is the brand new Toys R Us livery for Team 404 Motorsport. Soon to become a massive fan favourite, I'm sure, with all of their toy manufacturers. I did spot Matchbox cars as well, which is where it's all about for me. It's not TX Speedstars, it's actually different Speedstars. Here is TX. Let's join him on board as he runs through. So TX going through the hairpin. That was the pit lane, very short pit lane on your left, and the exit point there as well, with the orange painted line on the circuit, temporarily painted there of course. TX has got a time so far through sector 2, a 1/4 of a second better than he's done before, but he's going to need to absolutely monster this final sector if he wants to try and steal the pole position from our all-conquering Canadian Bongit so far this season, as TX is coming through. Creamy sets a new personal best, so did Huge Jar, but still just over the 2-minute mark there for Huge Jar. Here goes TX, just 0.2 of a second faster than he's managed before. Izzy is in the VR helmet as he he always is here, as we run through to try and tackle a new fast lap. We should get an update on the time. That's just 61 thousandths of a second slow. 1:57.9 is a very quick time for Bongit, I have to say, and the GTD Pro drivers watching will be raising an eyebrow, I think, at that qualifying time from Bongit. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to take some beating. Down we go into the hairpin here at the northeast of the circuit. Power out again, head towards the second sector. This is on board with Izzy as he tries to get an update on his time, and he's closed the margin, but by the tiniest amount, he's halved his deficit to his own personal best time. But it's well within the chance. You've got Thrasher and Aussie setting new fast times there for themselves. Not featuring in the top 10 though at this point is Bongit, TX, Izzy, Creamy, Mr. Fish, and Astonishing with Machina and Sully. There goes Izzy, 0.2 of a second faster in the third sector alone, but still not quite on that front row of the grid. We will hope that our live audience can update us on the safety car lap here for the GTDs after qualifying as well. I'll try and keep my eye on the correct YouTube, on the correct Discord channel, but can be a little bit tricky for me to monitor multiple chats at once. So waiting for an update from one of our live audience once that spinner is spun. Here is Creamy in the just get that correct. Creamy, the Peugeot RCZ in the Spider-Man. I think that's the Miles Morales Spider-Man game livery with the transparent number 100 racing stickers on the door. It's Creamy, and Izzy pits now. So Creamy, Izzy pits, and has still got 100 litres of fuel on board. Creamy's going quicker. He's only 1/4 of a second away from Izzy's fast time. Bongit is still the fastest on a 1:57.970. Oh, hesitation at the apex for Creamy. That lost him a 1/10 or two, and that will build because it hurts you all the way down to the next turn here at Tokyo. Across the line, it's a 007 deficit for Creamy, unfortunately. Where is Bongit at the moment? Is he going any quicker? Not quite. Let's join TX then and see if he can challenge. Now his deficit is 0.5 of a second. May get a tow from the car in front here. TX towards the Docklands area. Triple right. 3 apexes need to be hit. Building the speed. Very low grip through here, and then a double left before a further right-hander. It's a long wait for the first sector. Time update. 4 drivers down a gear into 4th for TX, and that slipstream is likely to be helping on the long run here. He's slightly quicker, but by nowhere near enough to gain a position and get onto that provisional pole position. I think he's got a Toys R Us livery of the 404 Motorsport livery here in front of him. It's certainly got lots of stickers on it. Get down into the hairpin. Mr. Fish, it is on board there. I can see Tamiya, I can see Matchbox, I can see TY, I can see a big slide, but thankfully Mr. Fish didn't lose the car directly into TX's view. That would have been pretty dangerous for TX. Certainly be hesitant on the throttle. I think got to commit to your racing line, but if you can avoid contact, then all the better. Fiendishly difficult section of the racetrack, this S's section. Just corners that are chained together. TX crosses the line. Oh wow, that was a hell of a final sector from TX. That's 47 thousandths off the provisional pole position. We're running out of time though. Here comes Izzy in P3. I don't know how his lap has been so far. I don't think Bongit is going to be able to do it. Izzy goes faster, but again, by not quite enough. Creamy will finish this one out. I don't think Astonishing will have a chance to finish his lap. We'll try and see whether... Well, Sully's in the pits, so he won't. He's had a chance in the safety car to get a feel for the racetrack. Just see if anybody has a chance here. This is Bongit. And I can see that the time is ticking by. I think we'll get to 30 seconds, 10 minutes 30, and I think the time will run out. Let's have a look. There it is. And qualifying is over. So here is your qualifying results. It's Bongit on a 157.970 in the Polio Loco Jollibee liveried Honda NSX, who takes the pole position ahead, but only just, of TX with the Godzilla and Flames on his Nismo. We've got Izzy in third place and Creamy joining him on row 2. On row 3 we have Mr. Fish and Astonishing, and Machina and Dirksy in on row 4 of the grid in the Mercedes there. Machina. Aussie in 9th place with Sully in 10th. Thrasher, Huge Jar, Kuros Kai and Jim complete our lineup for the qualifying positions. Team NASCAR there in the Nismo in P9 with Aussie, our sole Canadian, in the bottom half of the field. We've got Chaotica raring to go in the safety car, but Bongit and TX will continue. Chaotica tells me that the safety car is lap 15. That's fantastic. So brilliant to get that update. And Chaotica, so lap 15, quite a bit earlier, and probably on into the right on the bubble, I think, of the halfway point here. As Thrasher says, safety lap. Obviously hasn't read the driver chat area there. So they'll be furiously adjusting their strategy. Medium and hard tyres in operation here for the drivers, sort of mandatory anyway, with a pit stop. They've got to make those choices very quickly because the final, before the race starts momentarily, and we have a tremendous battle lined up for you. Let's get all the information on the screen. Let's get you trackside camera, thank you very much, and get on and underway then. Bongit and TX are going to be your front row. Bongit on the left of the grid slots, the right hand side for Team NASCAR, and the Nismo on the of TX in second place. 5 red lights, it's dropped the clutch, it's go, go, go. Looks like Mr. Fish careening into the back there, potentially, of the slow starting Izzy or Astonishing. Couldn't quite make it out, but as they run into turn 1, it's definitely Bongit in front. It's TX followed by Izzy and Creamy, with Astonishing trying to make his way through for Team Van der Vaart. We've got Aussie, Sully and Machina all almost 3 wide here. Aussie in the NASCAR Nismo, and looks like TX is going for the opportunity down in towards the right-hander here. It's Bongit holding on at the moment. Both drivers starting on the hard tyre. Very equal situation for them. Izzy in third on the hards, and so is Creamy in fourth. Everybody, it seems, on deciding on the hard tyres early on, but Mr. Fish has gone for the soft tyre here, and I wonder if that was to blame for the starting contact away from the grid. I will try and show you a replay of the start, but at the moment, Team 404 Motorsport completely blocking the middle of the track here as Mr. Fish and Aussie goes side by side. You've also got no, it's Machina who was with Mr. Fish. Aussie split the difference between the two. Got every toy sticker on the car they could possibly generate, as Sully is in 9th place. Huge Jar and Thrasher is absolutely waving around this racetrack. Looks like, is that Creamy in the Spider-Man livery at 6s and 7s going through, and then we've got one of the team builder cars very slow away as well from the grid. That's Sully, who was struggling. Sorry, Sully in the Mad Panda livery. Looks like it was Thrasher who lost out hugely for team builder. Chaotica waits in the pits, but your leader is Bongit. Izzy has got the second position over TX Speedstars, as we have a quick look at how things went off the start, as we will try and find. That was the immediate getaway from Mr. Fish, hitting the back of I want to say Astonishing. In fact, let's just try and replay that from the very moment of the start and see if we can get it. There it is. It's Izzy slow away, and well, you have to say that Mr. Fish was definitely trying to start avoiding, but you don't expect the driver in front just not to launch off the start positions when the lights go out. Izzy has got TX right behind him as they head down in towards the Docklands. Then for the second time of asking, Izzy holds onto the inside line. TX Speedstars on the outside. It's not the quicker way through the corner here, but Izzy will cut across to turn left through the next portion. There's the PSVR2 on the helmet there of Izzy in the VR. And then you've got TX fighting with Mr. Fish, who somehow or other, with those soft tyres, I think, has moved himself forward. He also hits the curbstone on the exit of turn 6 there momentarily. Doesn't damage the car this time. You've got to be so careful. It's almost like a wrapping paper effect on the Mercedes here for Team 404. I hope that this livery stays around for more than one race, because this is very, very good indeed. The Toys R Us livery. I'm guessing that Gus and Charlie are too young to know about Toys R Us, but there are probably our youngest loyal audience here. Huge Jar and Aussie switching back through the hairpin, and there is Creamy. He's really struggling with that Peugeot to get it out of the hairpin. Side by side, astonishing, and Huge Jar then as they run through. This is the Predator car, the Ferrari of Huge Jar, getting the nod ahead. Aussie's just sneaking through, past astonishing, but it's far from simple. Aussie in the NASCAR Tootsie Nismo today. Astonishing moving around. He's got the metallic pink, I think Astonishing has, of the that's Godzilla, isn't it, in the Wunderfeld, just celebrating Japanese culture with a destructive giant dinosaur. Creamy in 8th place, Machina in 9th, with Dirksey hot on his heels in the Popeyes Polio Loco car. Just had a first Popeyes open near where I live, actually. I haven't tried them out yet. Let me know if you think I should, or if it's just best left as a mystery. Sully ahead of Jim, and Guros Kai with Thrasher in that 14th position. Chaotica waits in the pit lane, and as we get run over by Bongit in the Polio Loco Jollibee livery. Izzy's picked up a half-second off-throttle penalty to pay down the start-finish straight. But Bongit on the hard tyres, and Mr. Fish at the moment not quite able to take advantage of the fact that he's on those soft tyres. He has to use the mediums, he has to use the hards. In what order is up to him. But he's opted to commit to a 2-stop. He's gone for the soft tyres for track position at the start of the race. People question that. Kirk cheering on Bongit here, who is leading, but he has some very quick drivers for company. Is he just shepherding Mr. Fish out to the outside there? Neatly done. Tonka cars on the Tonka trucks on the roof. I'm going to love this livery. I'm going to be spotting things the whole time. Moments definitely from my childhood on this livery here. Fisher Price, Tamiya, terrific stuff. Memories of going to Toys R Us just simply as something to do. For me, Izzy still hanging on to 2nd place ahead of Mr. Fish, and there he's going to get the slowdown coming out of turn 16, and Mr. Fish should easily make his way past, and does so. There he goes. Nerf guns, brilliant. And Mattel, I can see Barbie on there as well. Huge Jar and TX 4th and 5th positions. Huge Jar also starting on the soft tyre, going for that track position, but of course it's safety car lap 15. Now the GTD Pro drivers went to 29 laps. Sometimes the GTD drivers do 1 lap fewer. We shall wait and see, as Izzy is defending hard. He's done this already, defending hard on the way into these big right-hand stops of both the Docklands and the hairpin. Oh, TX going for the switchback. I don't think it's going to open up to him that way. Here you can see the shadow of Godzilla, the flaming background of TX here for the Nismo Team Nissan. Sorry, Team NASCAR Nissan. He's gone for that, whereas the more traditional NASCAR Tootsie livery of his teammate Aussie, here he is, in fact, in 6th place. And then you've got Astonishing ahead of of Dirksey. We've got two different teams that are wearing the Godzilla today in different forms. Here is Popeye, Popeye's livery of Dirksey, obviously eating his spinach, heading on in. We've got the green mirrors and windscreen strip, indicating that, of course, this is the GTD series for our GT World Challenge Season 4.2, and we are into round 3 of the 7. The drivers get to drop 1. So for some drivers, this is going to feel like halfway point of the season if they're planning a vacation, as I am, later in the season. Makina in 10th, debuting with us in GTD anyway. He may be a driver for us elsewhere, either in the Super Formulas or in GT Sport. But for me anyway, first time I've commentated over Makina. And then we've got Sully and Jim in 12th. We've got Thrasher in 13th. Kuroskai struggling. I wonder if he's got the same problem that Larry was experiencing in the Lamborghini, that the engine feels a bit dead. Definitely complaining, our team builder. But I wonder if they've got their cockpit equipment in common, because I have heard this week that there's been a predominance of a certain steering wheel and pedal manufacturer whose throttle map has been stuck at 97%, and that could explain the drivers thinking that the car feels a bit dead at the top end, especially. Will help them with traction control slightly as well, but that's by the by. They'll always elect for more speed rather than less slipping. Creamy in 8th, following Dirtsey, and astonishing here. There's a nice tight battle developing. How Mr. Fish has ended up down in 10th is quite beyond me. Has he pitted? No, his soft tyres are just going off that quickly, I think. No damage on the car. Nice close up there, but Mr. Fish in 9th place right now. He was battling over the provisional podium positions, but Makina and Mr. Fish close together. Sully in between them. Huge Star and Dirksey are pitting off the soft tyre here. Very early on, after just 5 laps. There is the look at the under the overpass pit lane for the drivers. Let's go up to the front of the field and see. We've got Izzy in 2nd, who's picked up a half-second penalty again, and TX right with him. But Bongit checking out 4 seconds in the lead of this race at this point. Of course, the drivers will all concertina together, and there goes TX, blowing by Izzy, who's got the penalty on the car. And he also picks up a personal best lap time as well. Back to Astonishing and to Creamy, side by side through turn 1. Great battle, picking up a small amount of side draft from each other. But there'll also be a bit of turbulence as well. Turn a slight left before heading all the way down towards the docks, where all the shipping containers wait with the drivers. And it's lit up like a Christmas tree to remind the drivers to brake on the way into this triple right-hand corner. 11 minutes gone, 6 laps we've counted through, or we're on the 6th, I should say. Bongit, Speedstars, TX, I should say, today. Izzy and Aussie, and Creamy and Astonishing. 5th and 6th position on your screen. Mr. Fish clearing Sully and trying now to catch. He's managed to pick up a bit of pace. I dare say he probably did contact the barrier and has lost time. I just saw a Hot Wheels sticker on the car as well. Hasbro. I'm just going to keep finding cool stuff on this one. I think they've just keyed the word toy into the decal list and the stickers in the showcase and slapped everything on. Creamy, the big slide at the apex. Did he get too much curb, I wonder? Let's have a look at what happened to Creamy. As he goes down, he's on the slight inside, nothing wrong at this point. Very early turn in for Creamy. Ooh, did he put himself into a slide, or was he touched by Astonishing? That's really hard to judge from that position, but he's straight back on it, is Creamy, undeterred by that one, and clearly feels like he's able to keep going. but 5th, 6th, 7th now starting to come together here, because have obviously taken a little bit of time. Astonishing to pass Creamy going through. There's Mr. Fish in 7th, back to teammate Makina in the Mercedes. Jim is in the Peugeot for the Sony Interactive. I haven't quite caught what game that Jim is celebrating today, so I will obviously get an opportunity to check that. I don't think anybody's done Wipeout yet, which is kind of sacrilegious to me. Sony Interactive. Sully with the Mad Panda for Predators in the Ferrari here. Down the inside we try. Oh, that was very late from Sully. I think he was probably trying to avoid contact. He doesn't have the Deviant green racing strip on the windscreen. I think he's supposed to have that on there. We'll look at that in more detail. Thrasher also hasn't got the green strip. He has got the green mirrors. So perhaps that is all that is required here. Gyros Kai in P12 and Dirksey in the Popeyes NSX with a big gap back to Huge Jar. Of course, Huge Jar and I think Dirksey both used the soft tyres at the start and change back to hards now before presumably going to try a set of mediums to the end of the race. There's Bongit and there's TX with a big slide and a big hold and a Webbo style point award there. Gareth saying green is the GT Sport colour. Yeah, I'm aware. I thought they had to use the same windscreen strip, but now I look at it, a lot of people are changing. Glover saying Fish forgot to change. He's on the softs and he forgot to change tyre. Okay, understood. So maybe that's the case for everybody else. We did have a quite quick turnaround in between sessions. So the softs to the hards to the mediums, I think, is the way to go. TX, look at the helmet design for TX. I don't know if you can quite see it. Seems to be a cartoon guy on the helmet design, which is pretty cool. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Izzy, TX, Aussie. I think Glovas enjoying the Fisher Price, sorry, the Toys R Us livery, I imagine. No bias in that, I'm sure. And TX then hangs on right now anyway. Oh, the rear end of the Nismo is getting very, very lively for car 14. Oh, and there goes Aussie into the wall. Aussie, unfortunately, didn't quite. He did the same thing that TX did earlier on, but just lost the car. Maybe he was worried about TX doing the same thing again. Is it too much curb? It is a tiny bit too much curb. Boom. And damage on the car, unfortunately, for Aussie. Hasn't lost a position, but has lost a lot of ground. Here comes Astonishing, catching him with a good run for Team Van der Vaart. As round the outside we go. Oh, that was tight to the apex on the way through the corner, but he made it stick. So props to Astonishing, heading through turn 10, and then Aussie just chewing away at that rear quarter. Once, twice, 3 times before making the move round, but he didn't quite get the overlap. He's going to keep going, keep trying this one. Needs to calm it down a bit, I think. But Aussie right behind Astonishing. Astonishing's gap forward is 5.9 seconds to TX and a provisional podium. There's a long way to run. As one of the bullet trains comes in at a very pedestrian speed in the background. There's Aussie in the 55, Creamy in the 100 with the translucent sticker on the side of the car. Wouldn't want to spoil our livery, our Spider-Man livery, would we? Let's go on board then with Aussie as we try to find a weakness in the armour of Astonishing. Keep him checking his mirrors, left and right, left and right. Astonishing holding the right-hand side here, but not for long enough. Aussie's going to take this opportunity. Oh, but earlier on the brakes, and Astonishing just cutting across. It's more contact at the apex. That was clumsy. That was clumsy, but sporting of Aussie. Let's have another, maybe check that one again. Here it is. As we go for a gap that was never going to turn into an overtake. comes completely off the throttle to allow Astonishing back into the position he had by rights and was trying to hold on to. Creamy, followed by Makina, followed by Jim and Thrasher. Sully in 10th. Behind them, Kuros Kai. And then the drivers who started on the soft tyres. Dirksey on the hards, Mr. Fish on the hards, and Huge Jar. All using those hard tyres so that they've got the option of a set of softs, a set of mediums for the finish after our safety car, which is coming in 6 laps time. Bongett leading by 6.4 seconds after 9 laps, still pushing hard for no apparent reason. Why is he pushing this hard? Just for fun, I think, because he just tags the curbstone with the rear tyre on the way through. Izzy's a little bit on his own now, coming through in 2nd place. Here for Team Van der Vaart in the Audi, and then we've got TX in the Team NASCAR Nismo. Another train on its way in. The closest battle on the grid at the moment is this one for 4th place. Aussie versus Astonishing. It's lap 10, and we have had just about 18.5 minutes of the running so far. Aussie trying to get that slipstream. Here he is on board, Aussie. Has to brake a little bit earlier than Astonishing does. Be hoping to pick up that momentum through the corner. All 3 apexes clipped very neat and tidy. Got a great run here. Astonishing tries to close the door and then fails to do it. Through turn 6 we go. That's a compromised line for Aussie. He's going to lose out momentum to Astonishing, who has that opportunity to just breeze on by. Great exchange between the drivers there. As Astonishing holds on for now anyway. So behind them we've got Creamy, who's not quite at the pace of these two, but Bongett, Izzy and TX lead the race at this stage. Astonishing, a little move to the right, a little move to the left on the approach to the hairpin. He'll claim ignorance at that, just say, no, what? I was just heading for the corner, mate. But but Aussie will feel like he's moving under braking, I think. Running through out of the hairpin towards the S's. Really no way through here, Aussie. But hold on to your hats, because I don't think Aussie understands the normal overtaking opportunity protocol. I think he just likes to push at any given time. They're going to chase the train here down the straight. Here is Aussie. They're going to overtake the train, and Aussie on the inside then up to P4. But he's on the outside on the way through turn 1. It will become the inside, and oh wow, he gets through, but as Astonishing let him through again before a long straightaway. I wonder if this is the tactic for Astonishing. I don't think so this time. It hasn't worked out. Astonishing definitely lost out that period. So Aussie, Astonishing, Creamy, and behind them Makina for the Toys R Us team livery on the 404 Motorsport. 404 celebrating brands, shops, bands that we have loved and lost, which is why we had the Sears livery in the Mercedes, but it's been obliterated by the Toys R Us livery today, I have to say. Please upvote or make your comments known. I know that the livery designer for 404 Motorsport is watching. Please sign my petition in the live chat to keep the Toys R Us livery forever. As we run then Astonishing, now defending hard against Creamy with a little touch possibly. Creamy, that's what happens when you block the drivers in front of you. You get a nerf in the rear for your troubles. Creamy down the inside, heading down into the hairpin. Creamy's going to get him here and hang him out to dry if he can. Make sure that his mirrors down the next straightaway are full of the chasing Makina, but Creamy makes his way through into 5th place. Lots of manoeuvring going on in the mid-pack here, but the top 3 staying stable with a Bongett, Izzy, TX. The majority of the field, I would say, everybody at the top of the field has been on those hard tyres, with the exception here of Ozzy, whose mediums are letting go on him, and as he hits the barrier on the way out as well. That is unfortunate for him. Then enjoying the close racing, and Creamy goes through. That was just the loss of momentum adding up then, or subtracting, I suppose, really, after that brush with the curb. There are no barriers, no temporary barriers here. It is all just curbstones and concrete blocks here at the Tokyo South counterclockwise livery. Then Astonishing. It's just I think that Aussie is losing momentum coming out of the corners on the worn tyres, but round into the dockyard we go, and Makina around the outside. How do you like that one? Love to see manoeuvres like that from Makina. Here he is, watching Astonishing going for the move. Has to brake early. Rubs some paint on the outside. Oh, that was so lively, but he gets the job done. Great overtake from Makina, and up into P6 on his debut here. Debuting, I'm going to just be staring at that. There's a Sega livery as well. And Astonishing now at the back. He was at the front of this pack, he's now at the back of it. Creamy, Aussie, Makina all making their way through. Jim is down in 8th place at the moment, with Sully behind him. Quite a distance, 6.9 seconds between them. Sully has not pitted to my knowledge anyway. Thrasher holding on to those medium tyres a little bit better, but he'll have to use the hards before long. Kuros Kai and Dirksy. Oh, the Popeye livery. Dirksy in the Team Polio Loco. I think there's some lag on these cars. I think that's what's happening here. Makina pits then off the hard tyres. That's a surprise to me, as the Popeye NSX comes out of the hairpin on a wider line than Kuros Kai's team builder Lamborghini, and it is to his benefit here. Trying to get on those brakes, trying to get into the apex and onto the throttle. Yeah, kind of side of it's Kuros Kai or it's Dirksy who's got the lag. It's a little bit hard to watch, but I think we're about to get some action here. Dirksy diving to the inside, couldn't quite commit enough. Space Force Gaming, I can see on the rear left of the Popeye's car. So Dirksy giving up a little bit of room there. So Thrasher, Kuros Kai, Dirksy, and then you've got the drivers who started on the soft tyres, either by design or by accident. Mr. Fish and Huge Jar. Dirksy was one of those. Makina feeds out of the pit lane. He's gone for a new set of softs, and he's damaged the car as well. That is pretty rough for Makina. As we approach the safety car period, Huge Jar will be very glad to see the safety car in a few moments' time. They should be able to brim the tank and finish the race then with a safety car almost exactly on the halfway point. It might be just over the halfway point here, but timing of that fuel stop is going to be really important. Here is Bongit in the Jollibee Polio Loco Honda NSX. He has the fastest lap at the moment of 59.628. As I mentioned earlier, the GTD Pro drivers went for 29 laps, so it'll be a 28 or a 29 lap race here for the drivers. Izzy in second, TX in third place, and now this gap has closed together a little bit. Lots of the midfield now pitting. Creamy, Jim, Aussie, all in at the moment, and I think that's down to running out of fuel at this stage. Drivers will be desperate to get through to the halfway period before fueling up. Astonishing then in fourth place off the back of this group, so it's just TX versus Izzy for second place at this point. TX has got top secret written in capitals across his windshield, which I quite like. I like the irony of that. Oh, we are absolutely tucked up here. It's right on the nose then of TX's car. Try and keep Izzy guessing here. Diving to the outside, and then Izzy just parking it on the outside. You don't often see drivers doing that, but trying to stop the cutback there. Zen, you've satisfied the goal today. Thank you so much, Zen, for the tip. I really appreciate that. TX10 has sent a kind gift using the super chat thanks button. Thank you so much. As TX then runs through, thank you for everyone that supports the channel in whatever way you manage to for me. Really appreciate it. So TX third, still chasing down Izzy. Not quite there, but astonishing in 4th place. Behind them, Dirksey on his own in 5th in the Popeye Polio Loco. So Polio Loco are 1st and 5th at the moment. Dirksey yet to make a pit stop. And we've got Mr. Fish, who switched to the hard tyres. He fish switched. That's easy for me to say. Not. Makina right with him. And then you've got Aussie and Creamy running as a quad of cars together. Terrific stuff. So big development still to come. It's lap 14 of the 15. I can see that Aussie has actually got a Nickelodeon sticker on his helmet in celebration, I think, today. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Maybe that's a normal thing for him, and he's just a really big fan of watching cartoons. But we shall see. So where are our drivers? We have got with half an hour roughly to go. We've got Chaotica just having come out of the pit lane. It is lap 15. It is the safety car period, and now we can have a really close look at our drivers' liveries that they have gone to great lengths or have paid Glovass a great deal of money to make for them. Jollibee, as we've seen before, I think maybe some new metallic tones on the Jollibee Polio Loco team, possibly here. The camera work is very difficult, I have to say, in the narrow tracks here. Can't quite see what it says on the back wing, unfortunately. I think it's Team Polio Loco, it just says. There you have it. Fantastic. Then the Nismo NASCAR top secret flaming chrome gunmetal and Godzilla livery for number 14 here. There's the Nismo car. Now I don't quite know who the silhouettes are of on the back here. It says Dart Izumi. So my apologies, I don't quite get that reference. Team Vanderfelt have gone for a full Godzilla celebration livery because they're in Japan, and why not? But it's quite understated, I have to say, in these lights, going for kind of a matte grey. It's an opportunity to really go for something very bright and shiny. But they're running in 3rd and 4th positions, so I think they'll be pretty happy with that. The Popeye livery for Polio Loco, celebrating everything that is chicken, the team, and Space Force Gaming, and a nice little Webbo sticker there. I don't know about Space Force Gaming, but whether that is in fact connected to the the US military Space Force, or it's not. Transformers, oh, I love it, absolutely love it. And Lego, how did I miss Lego earlier? What else have we got? There's Mr. Fish's sticker. I can see My Little Pony, Turtles, Hasbro, Mattel, man, and Nerf. What a fantastic livery this one is. I can see Monopoly on the roof as well. Can't quite make out the rest of the roof. I can see Tonka trucks. Glovass, you have to let us know what I've missed. Crayola, absolutely brilliant. Love it. Bravo. Very well done indeed. Then we've got Tootsies. We've seen these, but they're the yellow Tootsies today. Is this a different? It's Orchid. Tootsies Orchid Lounge. Wow, interesting. Okay, and then the 30th anniversary livery then for Jim. That's why I wasn't quite getting it here, but it's just the 30th livery, 30th anniversary of the PlayStation as a brand, as a game console, as an entire entity. And I can say I've played, I think, 28 of those years. Wow. Then we've got the All Ferrari Predators livery, which I was questioning with Huge Jar whether this was intentional or not, but I think it's not. But I don't know why you would have his Deviant sticker on there if it's not his genuine livery. But it doesn't look like a Predator livery to me. This is a Predator livery. This is the Mad Panda. And actually, if I dared provoke Comacopa to say that this looks even better, this one, than Comacopa's take on it, but Sully in the metallic purpley pink. Then the same old really for Team Builder, I'm afraid, Thrasher. Sorry. Sorry about it. Same with Kuros Kai. No changes that I can tell anyway. And back then with Makina as well. Some cars have pitted. Some cars have gone back to the front of the order. Medium tyres, full tanks of fuel all around, I think, here as we prepare. Well, we're going to go for a full lap under the safety car here. You can see this is creamy on board a very not racing car looking interior here. Just a road car. You can see the drivers in the mirror. Here it is. There's 19:35 local time. I think it's a bit later than that maybe, but we will see. 2 rear view mirrors on board, keeping 2 eyes on the drivers. Extra mirrors on top of mirrors. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen. What's this one? It's a 5 mirror setup here for the safety car. Great to see. It's the Crown Athlete safety car. What branch of racing do they use this safety car for, I wonder? And there you can see it's also been in contact with the wall. Has the safety car. The rear end was bashed up earlier on when Sully was driving. It's the front left that's got a little bit of creasage going on the way through. So thank you to everybody who are here live with us. So we've passed the halfway point. The drivers have gone for a complete mix of strategy. Chaotica's on soft tyres, so someone would love to explain that one to me. Chaotica, well, of course he's the safety car driver, idiot. Okay. Creamy, medium tyres to finish. Aussie, hard tyres. Jim, mediums. Huge Jar, used hard tyres. A long way to the back. Sully, mediums. Thrasher, hards. Kuros Kai, mediums. Mackin are the same. Mr. Fish, Izzy, Bongit, Speedstars, Astonishing, Dirksy, everybody on the medium tyres with just a couple of exceptions, but Aussie has track position here, and track position might be king. If there are accidents on the restart, he may have a great chance here as they approach the end of this lap. There's another driver into the pits. Who's that coming in? That's Thrasher coming into the pits. He is going to get off the hard tyres now, change onto mediums, but give up obviously every track position right at the tail of the field. It's a very short pit lane, so he'll have plenty of chance to get back. But creamy Aussie. So Globass, you're saying Strat for the win. Who is your vote for the win then? Is it the hard tyre shot Aussie, or is it pretty much anybody else on the mediums? But what about Huge Jar here? Used hard tyres. Definitely not enough fuel to make the end of the race. A real mystery for me, Huge Jar, why he hasn't gone in and changed, especially during this very long protracted safety car period. I think the safety car has come in. We will go racing momentarily as Creamy will head the field and get away here on the hard tyre, on the medium tyre, excuse me. Creamy with an advantage here, potentially off the line. Little nudge in the rear. Aussie says, come on, hurry up. We're across the line. It's green flag racing as the speed builds for to close in the final part of our great race 3 of the season 4.2. And Creamy goes and launches away. You've got both of the Toys R Us cars side by side with each other, but Kuros Kai is trying to split the pair of them and go down the inside. Kuros Kai looking for a window of opportunity down in towards the right-hander at the end of the big long stop. Has he taken it too far? He certainly seemed to go very wide, and Mr. Fish is going to follow through. Mr. Fish with a big tail snap, and Kuros Kai and Fish get together. Unfortunately, let's check that one out again, because I need to see the rights and the wrongs of that one. Where are we here? Where are they? Here they are. So Fish tries to follow through. Kuros Kai closes the door. Fish rescues the car and ends up basically holding up Kuros Kai. And and that is very unfortunate. And then they end up next to each other, as so often is the case here when drivers come together and go off the ideal racing line. Creamy leads us in the Spider-Man Miles Morales game livery, but Ozzy's holding everybody up here on the hard tyres, and he's got damage. They're coming together behind him, Jim and Sully, as Sully's trying to make his way through. Sully's on the medium tyres and actually loses out in that run. Turns third into 5th place, Sully. Following in nice and tight then, everybody, as Makina goes directly through as well. Sully caught right on the back and then tags the barrier, loses momentum again. Drivers queuing up to pass Sully. TX and Izzy will be very keen to get a hurry up, but you need to be patient for those opportunities. Izzy moves to follow TX. Astonishing follows through as well. Sully has gone from 3rd to 9th in the course of one sector of our racetrack, and Bongert isn't done trying to battle here. He's got 9th on the left-hander. Will Sully hold on to the inside as they go side by side and drift towards the back, towards the barrier? There's Bongert, P9. He was well in the lead of this race. It's all about whether they can make their way through after the... Oh, it's all coming together down into the Docklands again, and Jim and Huge Jar touch. Ozzy's on the outside. Ozzy's going round the outside of all of them, is he? Oh, yes, I think he is. Huge Jar turns round, hits the barrier hard. Huge Jar careens into the path of other drivers trying to rescue the car. That was massive accident. Talk about Huge Jar. That was a huge accident. Here we go. He's trying to go in. He gets a tag from the rear possibly. Tries to turn in, but it's low grip out here. Spins across into the barrier and then into the path of other drivers who all managed to evade him just about. Not the safest of rejoins, but you can't really blame him because you're not really rejoining anything. At the back of the grid then, Huge Jar, but he needed to pit anyway. He'll be ruining the fact that he didn't pit earlier on as Creamy leads, and then it is absolutely anybody's for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Ozzy and Izzy come together. TX is stuck on the outside and someone's headed towards the pit lane. Who's that? That is the pit exit, in fact. Let's see if we can find out who that was. That looks like it was Izzy, sadly. It was Izzy who lost out on that run. It is just a restart madness from the drivers. Here is Izzy, he was on the inside line and then gets pit maneuvered into the pit exit, unfortunately. So Izzy right down in the order. He'll be hoping for another safety car, but I don't think he'll be getting one. Creamy 5.2 seconds in the lead of this race. All his birthdays have come at once. Creamy, he can open out that gap. I'm getting absolutely no cars on the screen for some reason. Okay, here we go. Speedstars up to 3rd place. He was a former challenger at the head of our field today. Speedstars in 3rd place. Ozzy in 4th place. We have just 19.5 minutes to run. And boy, have we had chaos after the safety car. They're not done fighting yet. Ozzy 4th, TX 3rd. Ozzy on the hard tyres, most everybody else on the mediums. So Ozzy will be good at the end of this race, but will he be in a position to fight by the time we get to that point? Makina in 5th, Bongert up to 6th now, and very keen to get his lead back. That restart and safety car period did not work out for our former leader. That's astonishing, and Dirksey goes side by side. Crazy stuff here from the drivers. As soon as a street track like this gets busy, forget about keeping your car undamaged. Mr. Fish trying to stick that bulbous Mercedes AMG nose into a closing gap, and it is absolutely fingernail biting, edge of your seat stuff. Mr. Fish walks straight into an open apex in the hairpin. And this is where we had a problem last time round. The driver's just coming out. There's a nasty wall on the left there that the drivers have to navigate. And if they're watching the car on their inside, it's very easy to hit that wall. Sully down to 10th. Mr. Fish and Astonishing run through. We've got Dirksey up in 7th place, and still with lots of work to do to get back into the lead of the race. Bongit, Creamy holds on though to this lead ahead of TX and Aussie, but all the action is happening in the midfield. Then you can see there's Bongit in the Jollibee orange and red. Absolutely crazy racing from our drivers here. It's not quite wacky races, but it feels a little bit like it could be very soon. Aussie is drawn alongside Makina, or is it the other way around? I think it might be the other way around. Makina down the outside and into 3rd position on his debut. Mr. Fish trying to bring the Toys R Us 404 Motorsport forward, and is that wall? That's the wall for Bongit. Wow. That is pretty huge for Bongit here. Let's have a look. He's just completely crowded out as they head in, and watch the wall that comes to greet him on the left momentarily. Trying to turn in. Whoa! The wall did greet him in the end. Wow. It's certainly going to make Bongit feel a little bit more careful, I think. Mr. Fish now hounding the back of Aussie. We have had some fish. I was just about to say we haven't had any fish emojis, but here is Caitlin watching on as Mr. Fish is in 5th, battling for 4th. Down the outside, through into the hairpin we go. Mr. Fish trying the cut back, I think, but Aussie parks it. Fish gets a wiggle on, heads in towards the barrier. Doesn't damage the car, thankfully. Bongit's car is damage free as well. Absolutely. Just tremendous amounts of peril and doubt as to the result of this race. Look how close they all are as they run through. Clubhouse cheering on Mr. Fish as well, but without a fish emoji. So it doesn't count, I think. Mr. Fish side by side with Aussie on the long run then. He's got the inside line, he should be fine here. Aussie peels out of the slipstream, goes for the inside. Whoa, very close. Bongit tries to follow through, gets a little side swipe for his troubles. Hangs around in the blind spot, I think, of Aussie. Bongit has the inside line for the next big braking zone into that dockyard. Bongit should have the legs, but the NSX can't answer for the Nismo. Usually drivers are braking much earlier on the inside line into there, but Bongit's pretty confident of what his medium tyres can do for him. Wow, over we go. Such good camera angles here. So fantastic. Round the corner we go. Jim in 7th there, astonishing. I think we just had a car slightly sideways in the background. It might have been Sully or Thrasher, couldn't quite tell. There's Kiroska in 12th. Izzy's in 13th place. Huge Jar pitted, has gone onto the medium tyres to finish the race out. Creamy leads us by 5.3 seconds with 14.5 minutes to go. TX looks to be in a pretty comfortable 3rd place. Makina starting to open the gap here to Mr. Fish. I wonder if the team boss will put in a call and say, look, Mr. Fish needs these championship points more than you do, Makina, but tell a driver that on their debut when they're going for a podium. I'm sure that Mr. Fish wouldn't want a podium that way, but Bongit he's got to deal with first. Bongit, who was the leader of the race in the first half and comfortably clear. Creamy is doing a hell of a job at the head of this field though today after the restart. Strategy working out for him, and Bongit goes down the inside, doesn't quite happen. Mr. Fish on the outside clatters the barrier. Damage on the car for Fish on the Mercedes. That will probably work its way out as Jim goes through. Past Bongit now. Bongit, no damage on his car. Jim a little lighter on the fuel in the Peugeot RCZ for Sony Interactive. And now it's his turn to head towards the barrier. This is just crazy stuff. Look at this crowded racetrack. Astonishing on the back group of this. Who can win out as they head towards the dockyard here? There's no room for anybody to race. Aussie's got the better braking line. Bongit goes diving down the inside. Jim joins him. And unfortunately for Astonishing, there's no way to turn into the corner. A little nibble from the Popeye car of Dirksey behind him. Fantastic stuff then. Astonishing lives to fight another day. He's got a whole gaggle of cars behind him as well, though. Just crazy how much these guys are battling so tight. Bongit, 1/10 of a second behind Mr. Fish. Mr. Fish just closing off that slipstream angle by the natural racing line, I think. Heading then towards the hairpin. If you defend to the inside, you've got to brake earlier. If you're on the outside, you're going to try the switch back. Bongit can't quite get to that late apex he was looking for on the medium tyres. Mr. Fish is wearing his mediums a tiny amount more. That front left looking slightly more worn, but there's not a lot in it at this stage. This turn 13, not as important as the turn 6 and turn 1 exits, but pretty important still. Bongit to the inside, through the S's, through the final corner, turn 16, Bongit, and Mr. Fish almost goes off with him. Mr. Fish picks up the position once again. I wonder if Bongit allowed that one back through. Let's have a look, because they'll be now slipstreaming down towards the docks. Here is Bongit going for that inside manoeuvre. Do need a slight bit of brake on the inside. Oh, I think it's just the fact that he hit the barrier. There was no contact on this replay anyway between the two. So we join. This is Bongit back, trying to get that slipstream all the way down to the docks. They look like they're side by side. I believe Bongit is still slightly behind. He is. Mr. Fish just hanging on, trying to make this Mercedes as wide as he possibly can. It's already a pretty wide car. Bongit now struggling in the dirty air behind Mr. Fish. Of course, Bongit's going to feel a little bit aggrieved. This was his win in the first half of the race, but you've got to be in it. You've got to have the strategy right for the safety car, and you have to say it hasn't worked for Bongit for whatever reason. But going into the pits when he did, changing tyres when he did, has lost the lead of the race, and he's 11.1 seconds back from the lead with 10.5 minutes left to run in the race. Bongit in 5th, Fish in 4th, another tag on the barrier for Bongit. Leaning on the front axle, and then that is Jim getting a little bit long on the brake pedal at this stage. That front left not wanting to bite, and then it's anybody's in the following order once again. Astonishing, and Aussie. Astonishing has had a hell of a busy race today. Always battling this entire race distance, I think, Aussie and the NASCAR Nismo. NISCAR? Dirksey in the Popeye car, in the NSX there. Just actually starting to catch Bongit, his teammate. So who's left on the hard tyres at this stage? Aussie is on the hard tyres. Bongit's hurt the car. That's damage on Bongit's car. And is that his chance at a podium, at a win, gone now? Was it already gone? But Bongit with damage on the front left of the car. You can see his teammate closing in, trying to find a way through here. It does look like it's Dirksey with the lag today, unfortunately. So difficult for me to watch him as Bongit brakes, tries to get the car in. Damage is cleared from Bongit's car. And look, Aussie's battling to try and hold on to a place. What a surprise in the 55. Here, Aussie in 9th place, just under 9 minutes to go. It is lap 24 of what I expect to be 29 now, looking at it. Thrasher and Sully hold it, definitely locked in battle. Still, Izzy's going faster than he's ever gone before on the track today, but it's going to be way too little, way too late, unfortunately, for the driver who was definitely competing for the podium earlier on. Excuse me. Sully in 12th, Kiroskar in 13th, Huge Jar in 14th position. He's had a tough day of it today, Huge Jar, unfortunately, but he's also going faster than he's gone before as the fuel wears off, so he's got something to challenge himself with. This is the gap at the front now. Creamy was 5 seconds in the front of this race. He's now just 1.3 from TX both drivers on 1 mediums. Both drivers trying to make it to the end on the fuel they've got left in the car, of course. And Mäkinen in P3, ahead of his teammate Mr. Fish, who's in 4th, and just starting to gap Bongit, thanks to that damage that Bongit just picked up in the Yuki Tsunoda helmet, I want to say, maybe. But Bongit, Canadian racer, obviously not going to the Grand Prix today. Going to stay and race with us. Mr. Fish in 4th, Bongit 5th, Jim in 6th. And we've definitely got some closer battles. Here they are. Astonishing Aussie, Dirksey. Dirksey was knocking on the door of his teammate's position moments ago, Bongit. And I'm quite sure how Dirksey has lost time. Such a difficult section of the track here. It really is. Now we're a little bit hampered into the right-hander. Should get the better exit, Dirksey. And I would imagine he's probably experiencing a similar sort of shake and rattle of the cars around him that we can see, thanks to the lag on the car. But he clearly lost several positions there, because he was right with his teammate Bongit and Jim. Here comes Bongit now. Looks like he's got a good run on Mr. Fish. Can Mr. Fish hang on to 4th place? I'm sure he was hoping for better today, but this is where he is today, and if it's damage limitation, then it's a hang on to 5th position. Something that Huge Jar will have in his mind is that you get to drop a score, and that this will be one of those he would like to drop. Side by side, out of the hairpin. This is advantage Bongit, I think, running through this section. So close, so close. Mr. Fish loses 4th place then to the former leader of the race and fastest driver and championship leader, Bongit, here in GTD Pro. I know Mr. Fish would love to feature in the GTD Pro series if he can. There's Mäkinen in 3rd, but I think these guys are going to keep each other busy for 4th. I don't think they're going to be worrying 3rd place Mäkinen, and certainly not TX or Creamy ahead of the field. I'll catch up with those guys in a moment. Here is Mr. Fish. He gets to be the hunter this time. So we head down towards that dockyard section. Mr. Fish has the inside line down into the dockyard. He's got a wide Mercedes AMG to try and hold on to the inside line through this triple right-hand section. I think he's got the advantage, has he? He could just get ahead, yes. He posts Bongit without contact, but he posts Bongit out to the outside, forces Bongit to lift. And here is TX and Creamy then battling for the lead of the race. The gap is less than 1/10 of a second. TX knocking on the door. They knock on each other's wheel arches, and they both touch the barrier. That's given Creamy a tiny amount of damage, I think. I think that TX didn't want to take advantage running through that section. Here is Creamy as he turns in. There's a car understeering into him. So difficult to get the overlap right running through these corners. So Creamy has 2, yeah, I think it will be, what would it be, 2 laps to go once he crosses the line. Was about to start his penultimate lap. Oh, that looks so loose. These medium tyres are really going. Both drivers on the same tyre. The Nismo, though, looking the slightly more comfortable this stage behind, even though he's got greater tyre wear on the front left. It does look like TX can hang on a little bit more than Creamy. TX a 1:59, won the fastest lap so far, but they're down in the 2:02s now. Penultimate lap has begun, if I've done my maths correctly. They'll probably just extend by an extra lap just to spite me, these two. But I imagine most of the field will be within that range. And TX around the outside into the docks. Is this going to be a switchback? He's got to time this to perfection. He doesn't manage it. Tags the back of Creamy on the way through. He's got to do a little bit better than that. Find a better way through. On board with TX then. We see the tiniest little glow of headlights in our rear view mirror. He's 5.7 seconds behind his and Creamy's battle for first position. He knows he's got the speed underneath him. He's got buttons on his steering wheel aplenty. But at the moment, Creamy seems to be taking that Peugeot, which looks like a very handy car around this racetrack today. And he's hanging on here to first place into the apex of the hairpin. Maybe slightly early, that apex. Right on the outside, Creamy able to get the power down, getting the traction beautifully out of the corner as they go to finish out the penultimate lap's final sector. Yeah, they're running in the over 2 minute range, these two, ahead of the field. It is 2 minutes to go now. If I had a sound effect, I'd play it for the 2 minute warning. Oh, here we go. TX nibbling away, and he's got the inside line for turn 1. But he will have a difficulty getting into the corner. He's really creased up with the chrome effect. You can see how damaged that chrome is on the front fender. Creamy then finally loses the lead here on this final lap of the race. TX just into the lead, but it is absolutely tiny gap. Here we go. Two drivers pinned together. Creamy will try and hang on, but Speedstars brakes later. He brakes too late. Creamy walks through the open door and into first place again, and he'll be pretty pleased with that result. Now he's just got one more huge braking moment to go to try and hang on. I hope you'll forgive me ignoring the rest of the field at this stage. Let's have a quick check. Bonget's in 4th, Fish in 5th. Astonishing, Izzy ahead of Ozzy and Dirksy, with Jimmy and Kuros Kai in 11th, Sully in 12th, Thrasher in 13th, Hughesjar in 14th. This, though, the battle that we care about most right now, as they go all the way down towards the hairpin. Looks like Creamy with that exit and that turn 6 has just about managed to hang on. Let's see if he can hold on. Can he get the car braked and turned into the hairpin? He can be slightly conservative into here. We've seen drivers lose it on the rear wheel drive on the exit of the corner. Speedstar almost loses it. This is the final sector we're entering. Speedstars is going to try and get Creamy, use the slipstream, but I think the time is running out. Creamy was quite away from the apex. Tyres just won't bite turning to the right for the Peugeot. But at this stage, there's a little crunch against the barrier as TX tries to do everything in his power. Neither of them have got a penalty. It's going to be all the way to the line, less than a quarter of a second, but Creamy wins in Tokyo ahead of TX Speedstars. Brilliant battling between the two of them. Hats off to Markina there. Bonget leading the championship takes home a P4. I think that'll represent a good worst result if it is his worst result. Mr. Fish, Izzy, Astonishing, Ozzy cross the line. Dirksy and Jim in 9th and 10th with Kuros Kai and Sully close together as well. Thrasher will finish out in 13th place. Hughesjar in 14th. That's your finishing order. Congratulations to Creamy for a hard-fought, well-earned victory there ahead of TX Speedstars and Makina. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut and run very quickly because I've got another race waiting. But thanks so much, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for liking the video before you depart from us. Another race will be live on stream momentarily. But what a great battle that was from our drivers. There's your provisional result on screen. But thank you so much. We will see you in 2 weeks' time for Deviant Racing League. This is Webbo, this is Deviant Racing League, and we will catch you on the next race day.